Now, it was an unusual thing we did about 4 years ago. As a nation, we elected a person we didn't know very well to be president. He spoke eloquently with a grand vision and made a lot of promises. We wondered what would happen if we elected a president who had no experience, who'd never worked in the private sector, never led anything, didn't lead in the state legislature, didn't lead in the U.S. Senate. What would happen if we elected someone without experience to the White House? Now we know. Yesterday, he announced a major program to reduce the capacity of our military. Inexcusable and unthinkable, and it must be reversed. We have to protect our military. He failed to put Americans back to work. Remember, he was early in his administration. He said, look, if you let me borrow $787 billion, why we'll be able to keep unemployment from going above 8%. Well, it went past 8% and hasn't been back since, 3 years later. He was critical of President Bush for putting in place deficits over $400 billion. He's been doing 3 times that. And he's on track by the end of his first term, his only term, he's on track to amass as much public debt almost as all the prior presidents combined. It's just inexcusable. See, the president says, he wants to get solar energy going. And so he puts $500 million into Solyndra. But he doesn't understand. That kills innovation. You think, well, why is that? Let me tell you why. Because across this country, I'll bet there were 100 different little businesses starting up to find new ways to provide solar energy with different ideas. When he picks one and says, we're putting $500 million in that one, guess what happens to all the others? They can't get funders. They can't get investors. They can't get venture capitalists. They can't get their mom to invest in their business because the government's chosen their favorite. And so as a result of what he did, he not only wasted government money, he made it more difficult for entrepreneurs and innovators to come up with the new ideas of the future. This president doesn't understand how this economy works. It's time to get a president who does.